check it's working. Okay. What is up, you fools? It's not Matt, but it's Sean, Fernando and Zach, and we are here in Tel Aviv ready for the live show, the first live show of the year for semi-final one. So I'm not sure how long it normally takes for people to come in, but we are here live from the press centre an hour before the show, just to talk you through things, just make sure that you're hyped, you're excited for this, you're ready to go, and basically we just want to get excited and get hyped for the show that we're about to see. So what do we think?
This is what we come from.
Yeah.
This is our moment.
Yeah.
This is what we dream for.
Is this showing up?
And this is
it
how
live?
we dare to dream.
I'm hoping this is live.
Yep, it's live.
Yeah.
So
It
it's
should be.
going.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is what happens when we don't have our ringleader
Yeah.
here. He leaves
We
behind
are
us to do the
completely
technology.
winging this. This could be wrong. This could be going completely wrong.
It should be working.
If you are here, and people, we are live. If you are here, please let us know. Please say hello, because I can't see anyone. I think people are starting to come in now. So,
Let's give it time. Let's give it time.
Yeah, I mean, we're relaxed. We're
We're
relaxed.
starting to see people. So
Yeah.
let's
Here
talk
we go.
about
The signs of life.
There we go.
Hello,
People are coming
everybody.
in.
What is
Awesome.
up, you fools?
What is up?
Yeah. What
You
is
fools.
up, you fools?
Yeah.
We're not quite as cheery, and well, you're American, but we're not quite as cheery and upbeat as Matt is. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to
Matt's
try.
kind of the yin to me,
Oh,
the
come
yang.
on.
Yeah.
I'm salty and I'm not bitter. I'm unsweetened.
Yeah. So
So-
we're going to have to try and pick up the tempo a little bit. But
So let's talk about the show earlier today. How was that? I wasn't here. I just showed up because I was walking around Tel
Yeah.
Aviv. I walked about 10 miles. What is that in kilometers?
10 miles.
10 miles, it's like
probably about
16
16
kilometers.
something like that.
Yeah. So
Wow, that's a long way.
yeah. But I also ate a big meal at, I don't know, everyone was talking about we should eat local, we should go to real cool places.
We already did the
Did
local
you have a
stuff, though.
shawarma?
I had a lot of hummus at Hakosem.
At where?
Hakosem. Hakosem.
That's an advert.
It was ridiculously good. I ate so much I had trouble breathing. I had to walk a lot to get to do it. So I am pleasantly plump right now. So we're seeing some questions coming in. If you have questions, please use at ESC United, all one word. We're going to try our best to answer them. We have our laptops up trying to see
Actually, we have
questions.
the first question. Do you have any view of the question already there? Of the
stage
stage
already.
already there?
We do
We
not.
already.
Our
We already
screen-
seen it this morning,
Yeah.
yesterday, but not
But
yet.
I know a lot of people were worried about wide shots. I think a lot of those issues, from what I saw on the shows and the rehearsals, may have been mitigated because A, the arena's full, and B, when you have a full arena, some of those wide shots actually do look a little better.
Yeah.
We think it's
I mean,
partially...
it looks huge. When there's
Yeah.
when there's a full crowd in there, it does actually look huge. They've done a really good job with the camera to
Yeah.
make it look big. The problem I think people had and what we had was that it was being used far too much. It's
Yeah.
a liberal use of the wide shot.
But
I
now
think
they
is the
fixed
problem.
it. They fixed it, and
Yeah.
I think it will look perfect.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
I
So
think
what interval acts are going to be tonight?
I
Well,
can do one. Viva la diva, viva Victoria. There will be there. She will be there. She will be there, kissing everyone. And
So
ready
I'm just
for
doing
you.
a bit of social media as well. That's why I'm looking down. So these two are gonna.
so what
There's a
other
question
interval
for
acts-
you, Sean.
Do you think Derby can turn it around in the second leg? I hope so. That's a football question, not Eurovision. I really hope so. But yeah, that's tomorrow. I'm not thinking about that today. I'm trying not to think about that tomorrow. But there we go.
So I will say the one thing that we really hadn't talked about, and I did some research last night, is there will be a clip of a whole bunch of past performances, and it's actually a piece by a local artist here, Kudaman, and it's actually, I think, pretty cool. It's a struggle in the press center to hear it because there is a lot of noise, and admittedly all the press are fans as well. So they'll clap for anything.
Yeah.
They'll clap for bum notes if it's their country. I mean, you could have a country that brings a horse pooping on stage, and journalists from that country would cheer for it. Like, it's revolutionary.
For certain countries, I think.
yeah. So at the end of the day, I think that interval by Kudaman is going to be a highlight that you're all going to remember as well. It's not live; it's already pre-done, but when you see it, you'll see what I mean, like how pretty cool it is, and
They
That's
did
great.
quite a really good job with the postcards too.
Yeah, those
So,
postcards are pretty amazing.
Very original, very different, very fresh, very modern, very 2019-ish.
Yep. So, let's talk about our predictions. I know a lot of you have been asking about our predictions, and our predictions are available on the ESC United website as well as on our Twitter feed. The other thing I can note is that we did a reader poll, and how many responses did we get?
Over 1,300. We were absolutely blown away by the response.
Yeah.
Incredible. But,
1,300
we
or-
got a lot of responses, so we were really pleased with that. So anyone who voted in that poll, thank you so much, because that's one of the biggest sort of responses we've ever had on anything we've done. And if you go to escunited.com, obviously the result is there. You can see what we think, you can see what the readers think. And there was only one country difference, actually, between the two. And I won't spoil who it is, so you can go and take a look and see, who we disagreed on. But I think despite what people have said about this semi-final being surprisingly competitive, I think that, at least 9 of the countries we seem to agree on. So, but there's always room for a surprise. And I think there's a lot of variance in where we put countries in our rankings. I think us as individuals, we all had very different decisions on who we think
But
would
we
go
did
through.
match with some countries.
With some, yeah. I mean, we put one particular country in a surprising place, but
I would say there's about 5 or 6 countries we, for the most part, felt were going to qualify. And we've said it a lot that there's going to be this fight between 7th and 13th place that are going to be real close. And
I think there's a core of about 5 or 6 songs that everyone kind of agrees on that they'll go through. But.
Yep. So Nick Dumoulin, sorry if I'm just destroying that name, apologies, is asking about the shot for that's out of sync for Cyprus for replay. What do you think of that?
It doesn't look as good as it did in the rehearsals because it's quite juddery and glitchy. I think when they did the rehearsals, this particularly the first and second run-throughs, it was a replay, and it worked better like that. So I'm hoping that they will fix that. Whether they've decided this is the route they're going to go down, I don't know, but I think it looked better before. So hopefully they can change that. But
Definitely, they will.
So it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's been 2 years since I've experienced a semifinal live in the press center, but it must be sooner for both of y'all because it's only been a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how quick the Eurovision season can go, yet at the same time how long and laid out, particularly in the summer and the fall when you're just waiting for stuff to come out, and then it's just a whirlwind.
Marco says it's so good that I can't decide between your live stream and the actual show. Hopefully the Wi-Fi speed will handle both. Well, you won't have to choose because during the live show we won't actually be online streaming because we know you guys. You want to watch Eurovision. We're not going to stop you from watching Eurovision. So we'll be here until about 10-15 minutes before the show, just talking you through things, and then obviously you've got time to get some snacks, get a drink of your choice. I know it's a school night for a lot of people, so it might not necessarily be a beer or a glass of wine or anything, but hey, it's Eurovision, it's our Christmas. You may as well enjoy yourself, have a couple of glasses. But yeah, we'll give you time for that, and obviously we will be back pretty much as soon as the end credits are rolling on tonight's show. We'll be back reacting to what we've just seen, who's gone through, who's not gone through, any surprises, what we thought of the show.
Any shocks.
And then we will hopefully be here long enough to maybe cover a little bit of the press conference and what's happening there. So we'll be here before, we'll be here after, but during the show, enjoy it. So that's what we're doing today.
So, go ahead.
It's been quite a very long journey. We've been here since day one.
Yeah.
And we've seen these.
Well, you two have.
These acts. Nearly. Technically, yes. Anyways.
Yeah.
And we've seen these acts getting their worst part, getting better, and now the show is complete.
Yeah.
Which act are you excited for tonight?
Iceland, obviously,
Really?
and Australia. We want to see how well she does because she's going to really go for it. I think tonight.
That's
I
my
think
favorite.
everyone has to. This is make or break for them. This is their biggest audience ever.
Yeah.
For I would say a lot of these artists at the very least.
So how would you summarize the jury show from yesterday?
I think everyone was solid. No one really seemed to have any kind of major issues or fluffed up their lines or anything. So I think everyone came through it unscathed. there were some particular standout performances to me. Georgia did a fantastic job. He actually had to catch his breath at the end because he just
really
completely
was
went for it. Yeah, and he did a really good job. Australia, fantastic. I think Portugal did a really good job. I think they really brought the energy that was missing from a lot of their rehearsals, so I think they did a fantastic job.
That was the first time I saw Portugal really come together, like I think they intended it to.
Cyprus was really good vocally. These are the ones I would say are standouts, and then obviously everyone else had some pretty good performances as well, so I think everyone's done themselves a service in the jury results, whether it'll reflect. Obviously, only one country can win, only 10 can go through, 7 have to finish outside of the top 10, one of them has to come last. So we'll see how they rank it.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, if you follow us on Twitter, if you go to our website, www.escunited.com, you can find our choices for who we think are going to qualify out of tonight individually, also as a team. And then you can see what you as the readers decided and see how we compare and contrast. Some questions from people on the stream. Have we been to the Eurovillage yet?
We went there on the day off, but it wasn't actually built yet. So we've seen where it is, but we've not actually been, unfortunately. But I think Thursday will be the day that I go down and have a look and see what's going on, because Thursday I'm planning to have a longer day.
They do have a really good setup of shows. I mean, Eurofan Cafe has good shows, Euroclub has good shows. I heard from people that I know who aren't part of the press who are here visiting that at 5 p.m. yesterday the place was packed. There was standing room only. It was just so much stuff. And the cool thing about Tel Aviv is that they're doing a lot of their annual things. They actually moved it up to fit within Eurovision. So on Thursday will be White Light. They have a food festival that's going on. So Israel is very excited. I know I've been talking to some people around town and asking them, what do you think of this? What do you think of Eurovision? And everyone's just so thrilled. They idolize Netta. I actually walked by one of the big shopping malls, and they had these big murals of
I've seen pictures
from
of them.
1979. They had Ishtar Cohen from 1978. They had Dana International, Netta in the middle, and then they actually had one of Kobe on the end. And it was just
I don't know whether they're trying to foreshadow a 5th victory.
But Israel is really welcoming. In fact, for example, they have been organizing press trips around Israel all week. That's not normal. And also they have been giving us gifts. For example, today they gave me this.
And no, that's not a BDSM thing. That's that's a ping pong bat.
I will not play with it because I'm horrible at playing
Matt will not use it on Billy. So Levander's asking, Eine's also asking, where's Matt? Well, Matt had to run off for a second. He did do the final rehearsal before final show, and he just needed a break to catch his breath. He works very hard, and we wanted to give him some time off, so we said, well, we'll take over. So, I don't know which team you want to call it. Dave and I call each other the B team, junior varsity team, but we're probably like team B plus or something, A minus. But we hope to give you as much information. Oh, Matt's on ESC United Live. It's me, Matt. It's like so he's there.
See,
so
he had me worried that I was using the wrong account. Then I was worried I messed it up. I was like, oh god. I'm using the wrong thing.
Lavander's asking, Charlotte Prairie, she was here at the press center earlier today, and she was here yesterday as well. Did we meet her? Actually, it was funny. Like, she was here yesterday. I didn't feel like anyone really stopped. A couple people took pictures, and then Anna from Moldova was here, and she kind of sang. No one really paid attention to her, and then Tamta one day showed up. And kind of everyone stopped and started applauding her, and it was like, yes, my minions are here.
I don't think I was here for that.
Yeah, it was like she walked in front, and then just everyone stopped and applauded, and just people just went after her. They're like pictures, everything else. It was pretty much like she was a sought-after Pokemon on Pokemon Go, and everyone was rushing to get it. I mean, that's the way it is with the press. When they see a celebrity, like someone who's hot this year, they rush them. And I almost think it's kind of funny. It's, I can imagine the artist saying, oh, this is so much work. I'm going to go see my people who love me. And the press center is such an easy, accessible way to do it. But we have seen the artists out and about in Tel Aviv. We saw juries from Lithuania riding one of the scooters. Today, Mickey was in one of the markets. One of my friends took some pictures.
Conan was here earlier as well. I don't know if you were here for that. He was here maybe an hour ago.
It was actually a pleasure meeting Charlotte. I have spoken with Charlotte. And she's very bubbly. She likes the Eurovision bubble. She loves it.
She performed at Euroclub the other night as well. So Yeah, Matt isn't here at the moment, unfortunately. He had to nip out of the press centre, but I'm hoping he'll be back soon, because obviously he wouldn't want to miss the live show, although he's seen it that many times by now that he's probably used to it. So yeah, you've got the Q team, or whatever we're called at the moment, so yeah.
So one thing I want to show you all, and we put it on our Twitter page, see if I can get the mic going. Yeah. I'm going to show it up here. We got this left, press conference for the American Song Contest. They're going to have a press conference, presence of Christer Bjorkman and the EBU, as well as Anders Lenoff. So Sean will be going to that tomorrow. And I know a couple people on Twitter said, I don't know if this is an actual thing or just part of the Will Ferrell documentary movie.
So there's two things that could happen, basically. Either I get to cover this for ESC United, and we have maybe a bit more of an exclusive for you, or I become a movie star. So
you become a movie
one of the two things, really, and I'm happy with either solution. So I'm interested to see what happens.
Because last night during the jury show, or before the jury show, we had some friends in the arena, and they were messaging us saying, oh yeah, Will Ferrell did some stuff, or they did some filming of the audience, and they pretty much blasted 2 songs that were made up. One was Russia. I can't remember what the other one was, and I'm not sure if my friend actually told me what it was, but he said they played him and they wanted people to cheer and, fake applaud and do things like that just to get some big audience shots. And I asked him, so what were the songs like? He was like, oh, very typical silly Eurovision. And I said, so are they making fun of Eurovision? And he said, yes, but I think they're doing it in a respectful way. They're saying it's doing it out of love. Will Ferrell's wife is Swedish. He's coming to Tel Aviv. He went to Lisbon last year. So I feel like he's trying to do his research and really get a good feel for what Eurovision is. Yeah. And I think there's probably plans to try to introduce it to a bigger global audience. I mean, to have it on Netflix is just providing that access to let people know about it.
As long as it's on Netflix in America, obviously, because we know how sort of localization can happen, because sometimes America and Europe, they get different shows, so hopefully it'd be interesting to see what an American audience thinks of Eurovision, and hopefully they don't, if it's their first viewpoint of the contest, this Netflix movie, I hope they don't see it as a joke from the get-go. I mean, obviously it's a comedy, but I just hope it's done tastefully for the contest, because obviously we don't need another fan base coming in and going, oh, it's all a joke, how funny is this? People, there's a fun side to Eurovision, obviously, because otherwise we wouldn't do it, but I just hope that people come into it with more of an affection, and at the end of it, I just hope that, it's done from a good place.
Yeah. So right now we are about 43 minutes away from the start of semifinal 1, kicking things off.
Crazy.
The press center is alive and bustling. People, I saw a guy dressed up like Catherine with a pink sash and...
I think, to be honest, there's nothing on the screen, so I may as well actually show you, if I may, what we can see. So, we are in the press centre. This is sort of the quiet corner that we're in, but as you see, if I turn around, there are a lot of people here, and this is the busiest it's been all week, obviously. David's there, so there's actually a lot of people here. It's the loudest it's been, it's the busiest it's been. People are excited, the artists have been in here today, some of them. And this is basically where we're watching the contest, that screen over there. So, it's exciting. People are here draped in flags.
Drinking champagne.
Yeah, drinking beer, drinking champagne, drinking Coca-Cola or whatever they want to.
And we have fun.
Right. Yeah.
Do we always get the same table? Well,
nearly.
Unfortunately,
nearly. We're a couple back from where we normally are.
So we have a different angle.
Oh, we're only one back actually from where we normally are. So
let's say we've been in the same area.
Yeah.
And that's cool. It's a nice area. And today it's not cold, because it used to be a little bit coldish. No, it's not.
That's because there's more bodies in here, I think.
Yeah.
It's much warmer.
It's a far cry from the first Saturday where I got off the plane, came straight here, and there was maybe like 30 people in the press centre.
Yeah. So speaking of crowded, I do want to take a moment and really just thank everyone for joining us last night. I mean, we had a huge number of people, over 4,000. I don't know what our record is for most live streams.
That's the highest I've seen in a long time. That was an astonishing amount of people last night, and obviously all of the super chats and things like that was incredible to see, because we, we've sort of been talking about the website and where it's come from and the YouTube and everything like that. I mean, a few years ago in Kiev, we were nowhere basically with the subscribers and things like that. So to have this level of response from people, and I know there were people that have obviously been here with us from the start, in particular Sean yesterday I saw, who's been here with us since at least Stockholm, since we started doing this. So from all of us and especially from Matt, it really does mean a lot to get this support, and we just hope that you enjoy seeing what we do. We just do this because we enjoy it. To be honest, I don't know why people watch us talk, because I don't get it myself.
We have passion.
Yeah, but they must see something that they like. So.
We do it because we are truly passionate about Eurovision. Eurovision is our gene, is our blood.
Yeah.
So, and I think one thing I can add is I remember, in 2013 at Mama, it was me and Matt. It was two people doing everything, interviews, running around. It was insane. And I remember a lot of press just really didn't get us. And a week in, it was sort of like this turnaround. They're like, wow, you guys are really doing a lot. We are impressed. And next year, we were seen as peers as everyone else. And just to see what happens in the last 6 years is really, really awesome. And I come to Eurovision every other year. I need a year off every time, although, I don't know, that may change next year because this has just been amazing. But we have a really great team. Matt and Sean and Fernando and David do outstanding work, and it's really cool to see, and I do appreciate everyone coming in and following us.
Some guy called Matt's asking us a question, but we'll ignore him for a second. So, but yeah, one thing I would add as well, just based on the channel, the level of support has been incredible, but obviously it opens opportunities for us, so we just want to thank you for that as well, because with us growing, the artists in the delegations notice us more, and I think this year it's been quite incredible, particularly on the red carpet, to see, and in Amsterdam, we went to interview Kobe, he recognised Matt. We went to interview Serbuk, she recognised Matt. Katrin from Greece recognised Matt. Tamta recognised Matt. It's incredible that this has grown to the point where
you met some of the artists.
It's quite visible, and the artists are sort of interested in it.
Which artist impressed you the most when we met them in life?
I think Katrin's lovely. She really is. Tamta's really sweet. I mean, they all are, to be honest with you.
But one of them.
I was surprised by Hatteru as well, because when they're off the camera, they're really down to earth, nice people. Took a selfie with them, spoke to them a little bit, and they were really nice. They've got a sort of stern personality, but I think that's just maybe because they're Icelandic. Maybe it's just a Nordic style.
I think the most artist that impressed me the most was Rocco from Croatia.
Yeah. Oh, because he was amazing.
He looks so different in those days.
If you get a chance, obviously we've not got time right now, but if you get a chance later on, if you want to wind down into bed with some Eurovision content, go and have a look at our Croatia interview, because honestly, it's one of my favourite interviews that I've been in the room for.
And it was an honour for me doing it. So it was. He gave us a lot. So
since our boss is watching us incognito or not so incognito, I guess we should answer his questions, and we are really trying to answer all your questions as well. I mean, yesterday I was on the live stream chatting to 4,000 people, trying my best, and I know you guys really appreciate that. It's a lot of work. We're going to try our best to do that as well. Now, but more importantly in the post-show as well. But Matt's
anyway,
asking, who do we think is going to win?
United says, who do we think will win?
Who do we think is going to win semifinal one?
Oh.
So we do have our full results, our full rankings on escunited.com, and you can find the links on Twitter, but I'm going to let Sean start first.
I've gone for Australia, because I think it's a jury pleaser. I think she's a fantastic performer, really charismatic. This comes across well on screen, and people are going to remember it. Whether you like it or hate it, people are going to remember the song, and I think it's going to be a televote pleaser and a jury pleaser. And if you're both of those things, you're a potential winner. So I think Australia could take it. I would say Iceland second, close second maybe, but yeah, that's what I would go for. What about you?
I agree with you. What the thing is, with Australia, the different thing is that we never seen something like that. She will be flying for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And that will impress, because it's not easy. There have been a lot of training, there has been a lot of commitment towards the song. personally, before I came to Tel Aviv, I didn't really like the song, but it got a whole package. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go in a different direction. My top pick to win the semifinal one is Greece. And I'm going to say Greece because it is such a powerful closer to the show. I think Catherine sounds amazing. I think
Closer
there's
to
so
the
much.
show?
Well, San Marino's last, but I think people are going to remember Greece more than they are going to remember San Marino. That's just my personal opinion. I know it's a little
What a
bit
disservice to King Serhat.
I know,
Yeah.
but I mean, it takes a lot to do better than 2016's entry by him,
Yeah.
and this isn't my cup of tea. Although I will say what they've done with the staging is very respectable, and it's a huge improvement from what they had prior when we first saw it, like every country here. But I think Greece, for me, looks stunning. It is beautiful. It is very pink and rosé, which are usually not my cup of tea, but it looks very beautiful. And I know a lot of people are freaking out about the removal of some images on the floor. I don't think you're going to miss that. This is the effect of being with us in the bubble, the press freaking out about every little thing.
Yeah.
It's always important to say, we provide you information, but always take it with a grain of salt, because we will make mountains out of molehills sometimes. And that's the press. We want to make sure we provide you information, but sometimes don't worry about taking everything we say literally. Take a step back and say, all right, breathe. Is this really going to be forgotten or missed by the televoters or the jurors who are watching this for the first time?
Yeah.
Whatever Greece took out, you're not going to miss as a viewer. I can promise you that.
Yeah. So Sean Casey says, do you think the kiss cam will only show straight couples like they did during the jury rehearsal?
So my friend in the arena said that there were some gay couples shown, some male couples shown.
I think there was a same-sex couple in the press. We're going to call it the press rehearsal, the first rehearsrsal. I think when we were in there, they definitely showed it.
I think that's what they want to us producers. If I was the producer, that was what I would want. So, yeah, we'll see.
So me, SB asks, do you think countries in the semi should be the only ones that can vote? In other words, should all 41 countries this year be able to vote?
No, because the whole idea behind the two semi-finals and the way that we use the pots, as much as the contest has improved in terms of political voting, diaspora voting, anything like that, block voting, however you want to call it, it does to an extent still exist, and I think you do need to take steps to minimise that as much as possible. Obviously this year we've got, say for example, Serbia and Montenegro in the same semi-final, Cyprus and Greece are in the same semi-final, you've got Denmark, Sweden and Norway in the other semi-final, the United Kingdom's voting in Ireland semi-final, and Lithuania, so you can't eliminate it entirely, but I think if you have everyone vote in both semi-finals, it sort of eradicates that a bit more. So I think the way that they do it is good, and it's the best way to do it.
It should be the same.
Yeah.
It should stay the same.
Jordan Munn just says, hey guys, just wanted to let you guys know I really appreciate you welcoming me into the team with open arms this year. Looking forward to the show tonight, rooting for Estonia. Obviously Jordan's one of our contributors, so thank you Jordan. I really appreciate your help around the website. Obviously you need to work harder next year, but I think we really appreciate what you've done for us. And,
Jordan, we will use this if needed.
Yeah.
So I did see one question from someone asking, Zach, Eurovision still geo-blocked in the US. There's other countries I know where it's geo-blocked still as well. Because Logo's not filming it, I would suggest your first step is to go to Eurovision.tv or the YouTube stream and see if it's available. They told me, I emailed them 2 years ago after Kiev, and they said that was just a coincidence that Logo taking over the rights and us in the US and other countries, particularly South America, Central America, not being able to access Eurovision through our traditional means, not on YouTube, was just a coincidence. I don't buy it. But I would say go and look on Eurovision.tv, see if you can access it. Go on YouTube. You have two other options after that. Number one, utilize a VPN to get an IP address that's outside of the US. I'm not going to provide recommendations because I don't even remember the one I have, and I'm not sure how the legality of that, but that is one option there. I'm not going to advocate it. The other option is the two sites that I always hear have broadcasts available online are the German broadcaster and SVT, the Swedish broadcaster, svt.se.
But I think
even
Ruv in Iceland they've got an English commentary stream this year, I think, of the contest, and I don't think that's geo-blocked, so Ruv in Iceland is another option.
Even TVM, it leaves that on demand. So tvm.com.mt, you go on demand and you can watch it over there.
Yeah. So Old Lies says, who do you think is most likely to mess up? Ooh. And I think mess up is obviously it's a brutal way of putting it, I guess, but I think who are you worried about in terms of their performance tonight, I would say? Anyone in particular?
Portugal.
Yeah?
I would say Portugal. I really, the big thing we should emphasize when you go and look at our picks or predictions is that is not based on personal taste. We are trying to think of it from the eyes of the televoters and the jurors.
Portugal's my top three.
Yeah, I love Portugal.
Like it, so.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you an example. I can tell you that I watched Matt do his, and he actually, and it's a thing I think I'm going to steal. He thinks about the televoter rankings and the jury votings rankings distinctly, and he is always thinking about those things, and it's a really good strategy, I think.
Yeah.
And Matt has a pretty good track record. I mean, Matt has been able to predict songs that were going to qualify that no one else in the press center has. I mean, he advocated for Poland in 2017. He advocated for Cyprus in 2015. Everyone else is telling me he was crazy. He ended up being right.
But I did get Ireland and Albania last year.
Yep.
So give that to me.
The thing with Portugal is I think people won't understand the message behind it. What will make them?
I mean, they translate it on. It says telemovish, and they translate it, and it says cell phones. So
it looks something more. It looks more Asian.
Yeah.
Rather than.
I think the commentator's job is obviously to portray what the messages behind songs like this.
Not necessarily.
So, it depends on. That should be their job.
It should be, but it depends on the commentator.
Yeah.
Some commentators might make fun of him.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So, I saw another question I was going to ask. I don't know where it's gone.
Got a cough here going on.
But yeah, I think one thing I'd say as well about countries we're worried about slightly tonight, I would personally say Estonia. Just because I think vocally he is still strong, but I think vocally out of the batch that we've got tonight, and Serhat is a different story because it's a different type of performance. But I think Victor really seemed to struggle sometimes with the high notes, and he seems to be doing okay with them. He did quite well last night, but I just worry, all it takes is one crack, and people remember. You look at Manel Navarro in 2017, he had one vocal crack, and then, he's all over Spanish Twitter for months after that. So,
Or even Harel Scott in Israel, 2010. I mean, people here say that in Rising Star, Harel Scott's always saying, don't sing like Harel Scott sang in 2010.
Yeah.
So that's the way it happens. The other thing I should notice is that, another country I think a lot of people are worried about here is Belgium. Belgium was a country that people thought would comfortably make it into the semifinal, and a lot of people are not sure if it's going to qualify or not. And a lot of people have issues with the staging. They're not sure about the use of the big drums. This seems to happen year after year after year, where it's always Belgium. There's always some concern and some reason for them to kind of be on the spotlight. And half the time it's worked where they qualified nonetheless. 2017 is a perfect sample. So much freaking out about Blanche and her nerves and Blanche and her singing, and we know how that ended up. Finished fourth overall. And then you have a year like last year where a lot of people loved the Belgian song, and it crashed and burned in the semifinal, unfortunately. So we're not sure where it's going to end up this year. Someone jokingly said, 2013, 15, 17, the years I was at Eurovision, I'm a good luck charm. I don't know. We'll see if that streak continues.
Yeah.
It's association more so than causality, I'm going to say, but we'll see if
But that's the problem with Belgium. Belgium started high, and then it went down.
And it was the same issue last year because we had the same thing. People thought Senek would be, a sure qualifier, and
I love Senek.
It didn't. But it just didn't translate on the screen, and unfortunately, it got lost in its semi-final. I think Belgium's position. I mean, they're between Serbia and Georgia, right? Who are two of the outstanding performers in this semi-final. Big voices. That's the worry, is whether Belgium's going to get lost in the mist. But Belgium have surprised us in the past. I mean, I remember in Kiev, Blanche was getting, you know, a lot of websites or a lot of, you know, bloggers, and I think, you know, we were sort of partly guilty with that as well. You know, we're saying that she sounds nervous, the performance isn't there, or you know, whatever. And she finished fourth in the final, so you never know.
Also in the final, she was at her top notch.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why there are rehearsals at the end of the day.
Yeah. So it's almost, there's rehearsals, but they've changed the feel of the rehearsals. We used to be able to go to the arena during the first rehearsals, and they changed that because they want to make sure that the artists have privacy, that they're able to do their things without the media breathing down their neck, so to speak. So there is very much this interesting love-hate relationship with the press. Sometimes we've seen it have really good relationships, and sometimes we've seen some really ugly relationships between the press and the artists. And I don't need to give examples. If you're in the Eurovision bubble, you know some pretty good recent examples. But I think the big thing to remember is that, you know, we as press and us as fans of Eurovision, you know, the artists are aware of what we're saying, and you know, we have to be, you know, critical. We have to give constructive criticism where possible. We try really hard to say, you know, we like the song, we don't like the song, but the staging's great, or you know, the song isn't my cup of tea, but this. And I think it's important to remember that the artists are familiar with who's watching stuff. They're reading what we're saying. I remember one time in one of the live streams, Bilal came in and said a well wish, and was in the chat for a while Matt was doing a Matitude live stream. So they are aware of the things, and I mean, even like, who is it that Matt was saying that went up to him and recognized? Oh, Tamta recognized him.
Kobe.
Said, and Colby.
Kobe and his sister as well. So, you know, even if it's not necessarily the artist, there's people that are connected to the artist that can pass things on. So I think that's the thing that you need to be careful of, especially as Eurovision press, is that, look, one thing we would say is that we can react to the songs and we can react to rehearsals, but we always try and, you know, we separate that from the artist. We'd never say anything about the artist themselves or who they are as a, you know, as an artist. I would say on the whole. I think as a person we'd never go down that territory, but you know, you need to make sure that there's that sort of disconnect and say, like, look, even if the song's not your style, you can appreciate when it's got a good rehearsal, when the staging's bad, what they need to improve. So I think that's just what people need to be careful of, obviously, as Eurovision press. So
and it's tricky. And it's tricky for fans as well. I mean, when your country is going to be a top winner, if you know, there are certain countries this year that are the odds favorites, and you know, we can say what we want about odds, but a lot of people buy into them, and many of these countries, these fans realize that this may be our year, and it may be our first opportunity for a long time, first and last opportunity for a long time. So I think it's okay for them to be able to bask in that spotlight a bit. I think there's a responsibility for those fans to be respectful with that basking in the spotlight, to not kind of stomp on other fans. But it's also for the other fans who feel that, you know, maybe their country's not in it to win it this year, to be respectful of that and give them that spotlight as well. I think, you know, I do, you know, I do like to go on Twitter and kind of search for see what people say about ESC United, and I saw one message saying, "Oh, Zach dragged me on the live stream," and I hope, you know, I hope it was meant in a jestful manner. I never truly want to hurt anyone's feelings. No. All I said was, you know, I know you're stressed and all, but chill, to a Dutch fan. And I really do mean that. I'm like, you're going to give yourself a stroke in the brain, you know, if you're not careful. I mean, just calm yourself and breathe. I mean,
Eurovision fans just need to relax, man.
But I don't know how to say that, because I don't have a country in Eurovision, thank God. The U.S. does not belong in Eurovision.
So far.
No, God, no. We would ruin it. We would finish dead last, and we would send just pure crap.
And, I mean, I'm lucky that I've got a country in Eurovision, but it's very easy to separate myself from that country's results, because they're normally terrible. So I think you have to develop a thick skin.
So am I the unlucky one?
Well, I mean...
that looks like it.
I mean, you're from Malta, but like Malta's not necessarily like a big hitter in Eurovision, it has to be said. Let's be honest.
It depends. Malta's like this, it's wavy.
Yeah.
1 year does well, the other year does drones. If you have any questions for us, you can tag your question at ESC United.
At ESC United, one
we
word.
will answer your questions.
We'll try and answer some questions. I think a lot of people are sort of chatting to each other. They might not even be listening to us.
Yes.
So,
Camille.
Oh, Luke.
Hi, Luke.
Luke. Oh, Luke says, hi, Sean. Hi, Fernando. Miss
Hello,
you.
Luke.
Hi.
We miss you too.
Yeah.
Oh, he deserves this.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's not here this year because I've not seen him. So
I haven't neither.
Yeah. So again, we'll show it one more time. Note: press conference, American Song Contest. Yeah, we think A, this could be real, or B, it could be part of the Will Ferrell documentary, our mockumentary that he's doing on Eurovision. As noted in the arena yesterday before the jury show, they had 2 fake Eurovision songs played. One was the Russian entry, and the audience was told to cheer and applaud for it.
Yeah.
Friends who were there said the songs were very corny and cheesy, but in a fun Eurovision kind of way.
Yeah. So yeah, this press conference, it could either be, a Eurovision exclusive or a Netflix exclusive. We don't know, so we'll just have to see. But
Semi-final one will start exactly in
20
minutes.
So
20
we're only going to stay online for another 5, maybe 10 minutes, because obviously you guys need to get yourselves ready, because this is the greatest show on earth and we don't want you to miss it. So if you have any last minute questions for us, Gil says plans for a Eurovillage visit. We do plan to go to Eurovision Village. If we do go there, we will tweet and we will let you know. So keep an eye out on our Twitter, which is at ESC United. I know a couple of people have asked to meet us. Not sure why, but if you wanted to meet us, we will try and make it down to Eurovision Village and say hi to as many people as we can. So if we go there and we are there for a little while, we will let you know. So keep tuned. Moshik Tel Aviv says, are you excited?
Lightning,
Yes.
thunder.
Yeah,
it's
I think
getting
that's an
exciting.
understatement. But I've got it's more of a nervous energy, because I think of opposite of what we've just said, because we're here, we are so vested in these people that we've seen and we've been speaking to for the past 2 weeks, or we saw in Amsterdam or in London or wherever, and you do get vested in these people.
I
and
feel sad for those who don't qualify.
Yeah, exactly. There's
I feel disappointed.
certain times where you meet someone and they're lovely and then they don't qualify, and it's like, it breaks your heart almost.
But
so.
this is a competition, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Someone has to go home.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Skylight CSC says, do you worry about Hattori doing anything on stage? I think they've said in many interviews they're not going to do anything to break the rules or anything like that on stage. I think they realise what they've got, and I think they realise the platform they have, but I think they're going to do their own thing, but not in a disrespectful way to the hosts,
Also
obviously. So
they are one of the favourites,
Yeah.
and that helped a lot.
and I think obviously they're already, I think the EBU have had to warn them about things in press conferences, so I think the delegation aren't daft. They know what they're doing. They know when they'll overstep the mark, and they'll make sure not to do that. So I think
Definitely.
they'll be okay.
So TikTok is asking, how much would they have to pay to be in the green room? I would never go back in the green room. In 2013, me and Matt were in the green room, and it was depressing. We
You
sat right
behind
behind
San
San Marino. You can actually go on the clip of Lisa Asia being interviewed. You can see me and Matt in the background, actually waving our San Marino flags.
Yeah.
And you can see both of us kind of looking, smiling, looking at the camera like, are we on TV? Are we on TV? Are we on TV?
Yeah.
But it was so quick, the rehearsals. I remember Romania and Armenia being named, and Matt and I were like, it's over for San Marino. I mean, it was just so quick. And I remember watching the show later, the results, and how slow and long it was, but just remembering how quick and surreal it was. And after that, it was tears. Ralph Siegel's wife was tearing up. Valentina was just kind of, there. Maram Mazar from Israel just lost it. I mean, poor woman. It was her birthday. She was devastated. I remember the 2 guys from Per from Latvia, hands in their heads, It was just really sad.
It's a competition at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
that's what happens in a competition.
We haven't got too long left, so we'll try and do a couple of quick fire ones for you. So Ioana Bredjani says, guys, tell people who don't know how the juries voted yesterday. Some believe it has been announced. Obviously, sometimes we see leaks of jury votes.
They're never true.
They're never true. So if you see anything on Twitter, take it with a pinch of salt. It's probably not true.
We will not know until after Saturday's finals.
Yeah.
Usually it's about 2 hours after the show finishes that you'll see the full splits. It's pretty quick when they all come out. I mean,
Yeah.
you'll just see them just bam, they'll be up there.
It's normally like, a couple of hours after the final.
Yeah.
James J says, hi guys, guilty pleasure Eurovision song over the last years.
Oh, I have one.
That's a good one. I think it's similar to my Germany question earlier. I'm going to say Miss Kiss Kiss Bang from 2009. I thought that was a really good song. And, it was a really cheesy, really naff performance, but it was fun. I liked it. What can I say?
My favorite is My Impossible Dream from Netherlands, 2004 or 5.
Oh, okay.
My Impossible Dream.
Was that Glennis?
Glennis,
who was on America's Got Talent.
You should be back.
Felipe, thank you so much. That really means a lot, especially because Matt's not here and he normally gets these, so I don't know what to do. But, ESC United
Thank
guys,
you.
Quick hello before the big show. Enjoy. Go Conan. So
All right,
I think,
they chose respectable. My favorite joke entry is Israel 2000. It was so bad, it was good.
No.
Just everything about it was just a big giant mess, and I think that actually opened the show in Stockholm in 2000.
Yeah.
I love it.
A couple more quick questions. Patrick says, don't you think the non-flag policy kills the atmosphere? I think we saw, particularly like in songs like Finland yesterday, it does kill it a little bit, but I think in terms of camera angles, it does really help. Oh wow, there's another one. Levander, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, all he says is have a great show.
I love Melody Festivalen.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the show. That's
And we
the
love
best show on
Sweden.
it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Well, I think we need to wrap this up. We need to get some stuff going. We're gonna make sure we get Matt back in the arena. All right.
We've got to set up cameras for the reactions. So obviously they're coming. We're going to film our reactions, the team reactions. We're going to film the press center, see how people react, because people love those videos. So we've got to get stuff going.
I'm going to do one final plug. We never got a chance to update it, but if you go on ESC United and search for the drinking game, that is there if you need it. The one thing you may want to add carefully is the wide shots.
Yeah. So, who's this?
Nordi Vegan.
Nordi Vegan, again, thank you so much. It really means a lot to us. Cyprus, Poland, Serbia, Iceland, Hungary, parts. So I think we know who Nordi Vegan is supporting tonight. And I think it's 9:47 here in Israel. We are 13 minutes away from the show. I think we're going to have to wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate, again, the support. Obviously, I'm shocked how many people are actually watching this, so thank you. Again, we really appreciate it. Go get yourself organised, get your drinks, get your snacks, because Eurovision 2019 is about to start. So
thank you, Sean.
Sean, thank you so much.
Does anyone have a good stream? Sean, check out the Swedish svt.se.
ruv.is. tvm.co.mt
or the German website, or even go back and see if YouTube it's going to be available. Last thing also, no wait, never mind.
Okay.
I lost my train of thought. That's
it.
the closer. Oh, be back here when the show ends. Same link, I believe, or go on our YouTube page. We'll send out tweets for everyone to know. We will have a post show here.
Or if you're not subscribed, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, put notifications on. You will know when we are live. As soon as we are live, you'll be able to join the chat and you'll be one of the first people we can actually say hello to. We'll be back straight after the show, pretty much as the credits are running. But we're running out of time. We've got 12 minutes to go. Eurovision 2019 is here. We are ready. We have got the first semi-final. We have got a lot of nervous energy and excitement to go. I'm sure you have as well. Enjoy the show. We will be setting up cameras and reacting, and hatred will prevail. Thank you, David. And obviously, one last cameo. It wouldn't be Eurovision in Israel without some props, so I think you're going to see these possibly in the arena. Whether they've allowed them, I don't know, but it's not Eurovision in Israel without a big inflatable prop. So thank you for watching. Enjoy the show, and we will see you on the other side. And hopefully the results go well for you. Hopefully your country can qualify. Hopefully everything goes well for you. Let's wrap this up. Enjoy the show.
See you
Thank
later.
you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.